REED-BBS, BBS. I'd rather have some boxing than no boxing. That's the title of this weekend wrap-up edition. More of a weekly wrap-up since Keith One-Time Thurman ended a 3-year hiatus midweek, clowning Aussie Palooka Brock Jarvis in less than 3-4 rounds. 36 years of age, Keith One-Time, Keith Once Upon a Time, or should I say Keith Remember the Time. Thurman. He took Jarvis out like vintage Keith Thurman. He really did. And Jarvis was quite confident during the build-up. He was mocking Thurman to his face like we've never seen before. Bigger man, younger man, taller man, stronger man, big old muscle-bound dude. Jarvis even shit-talked Thurman in the ring during the final stare-down. And then the ass-whooping ensued. And even a decade or so past his absolute best, Thurman, he was simply too much for Jarvis. The skill level was night and day. It's still a bit unsettling seeing Keith Thurman with receding hair. It just is. I'll never get used to that. But he looked good enough to warrant a money fight or 3 at 54 moving forward. He absolutely did. And as luck would have it, Tim Tszyu, he was doing color commentary for the Thurman-Jarvis fight. And knowing they were scheduled to face each other last year when Sebastian Fundora ended up being a late replacement for Thurman, it's a natural segue. Now, Tszyu will be making his return after taking back-to-back L's. He'll be coming back against Joey Spencer April the 6th. Thurman Tszyu, Thurman Fundora, Thurman Earl Spence. I'm here for all of it. And Thurman can't be counted out in any of those bouts. I'd rather have some boxing than no boxing. Speaking of palookas and return fights, did you see the flabby tub of shit that Edgar Berlanga stopped in the first round in his comeback from the Canelo L? Jonathan Gonzalez-Ortiz, who actually came into the ring undefeated. I get it. Boxing ain't a bodybuilding contest. It ain't. In fact, one of my current favorite fighters, David Benavidez, is bad built. Gonzalez-Ortiz, he took the shit too far, though, way too far. Quite possibly the worst non-heavyweight physique I've ever seen in a boxing ring. I can't unsee this shit. I'm scarred for life, unfortunately. Like, look at this shit. Can't unsee this shit, man. Motherfucker calls himself mantequilla, which means butter in Espanol. And it's actually appropriate because just as you put butter on bread rolls, this motherfucker had a couple loaves of fat rolls around his midsection, just waiting for some mantequilla. That's all that was missing, was butter for them rolls. Never seen a super middleweight with love handles like that. And seriously, they should have switched opponents at the weigh-in, like on site. The moment Gonzalez-Ortiz took his shirt off, is when they should have summarily dismissed, resisted, and got a new motherfucking opponent into this shit. They had to do something. It looked too goddamn bad. It was bad for business. This fight actually hurts Berlanga more than it helps him, in my opinion, because there is now and will forever be footage of Berlanga wasting his time with this bad-built, pear-shaped motherfucker. Berlanga, he came in over the 68-pound limit himself. He was name-dropping Caleb Plant, Jaime Munguia, Charlo, and others, after the fight. Berlanga's also a free agent, which makes it easier to negotiate fights with whomever. Makes it much easier to negotiate these fights. And even though I never want to see Brock Jarvis and Jonathan Gonzalez-Ortiz fight again, I'd rather have some boxing than no boxing. Thank God for Nick Ball versus TJ Doheny, a bout consisting of 2 world-class fighters for a change. It was an off weekend, apparently. It wasn't even that good of a fight, but in comparison to the other major bouts from this past week, I appreciated the level of conditioning and know-how that both men brought to the ring with them. Nick Ball is literally a little ball of mean, pent-up aggression and energy. He kicked or kneed, I think it looked like he kneed him, Doheny at the end of round 1 because TJ had him in a headlock and wouldn't let go. So he kicked him or kneed him. He flung Doheny to the canvas in a couple other rounds. Ball, he kept an up-tempo pace that Doheny's old ass just couldn't dream of matching. And he grew increasingly more and more fatigued, battered, weary, and he was mercifully pulled out of the fight by his corner after a particularly one-sided 10th round. Ball is rumored to be the chosen one for the featherweight debut of my dude, my Tomodachi Naoya Inoue, after he handles some more super bantamweight business. First with Ramon Cardenas and then MJ Akhmadaliev. Ball, he'll make for a fun, brief, entertaining fight, but make no mistake, Inoue will not only beat the brakes off Nick Ball, Inoue will beat the brake pads, the calipers, the rotors, and the dust boots all off of Nick Ball, in addition to the brakes. I won't call it easy work, but it ain't gonna be all that hard either. Not exactly a banner weekend for our sport. Not the type of weekend that attracts new fans, but still, I'd rather have some boxing than no boxing. REED-BBS, BBS. Blackbird Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Television! Fred Sanford of the Mystic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.